Okay, thank you. Good morning, Israel. Good morning, good evening, Silicon Valley. Thanks very much for joining us, and thanks for your time. Thanks for your effort. I would like to start with a little bit story of how Yael and I are even connected to all this effort. Back in May of this year, we received a video from Yael's sister, basically showing us 65 plus people in Israel working in the volunteering the kibbutz. At that time, we already had plans to go to a vacation in Europe for about a month. Yael and I looked at each other and said, we cannot do that. We canceled our vacation and we went to Otef Aza and volunteer working for a Nirim. Yael was working in the yards and I was working inside the homes, painting, fixing homes, and actually installing safety locks in the mamadim, the safety room. That was back in May, and we did it for 4 weeks. We really connected to the place. We felt that the people there are incredible people, and we wanted to help them also in the future. So when we left, we basically tell Eyal Ben David, who basically organized this whole volunteering effort, that if they need any help in the future, please give us a call. A few weeks ago, Eyal called me and said there is a very important project in Nir Oz, a kibbutz that suffered the most devastating damages from the October 7. A lot of people were killed. About 76 people were held hostages. And they basically asked us that the future of the kibbutz depends on this group of young people who will come and replace the families that decided because of the trauma not to go back. So that's basically the background from us to getting involved in that. So with that, I would like to basically introduce the people who are going to be doing the presentation here. And I would like to start with Eyal Ben David. Eyal, who is basically the person that organized the volunteering effort. He's a perpetual volunteer, a straight arrow person that, in addition to his many qualities, will be our eyes on the ground. Basically, he committed that every dollar that we will be donating to this effort will be going directly to the restoration project, no if, no buts. In addition, we have here Chagai Mayork. Chagai is the project manager and basically the mentor of this group of young people, men and women, who will be part of this group. In addition, we have Adi Peleg, who is the person who will be organizing all the funding effort and so on. So without further ado, I would like to pass the microphone basically to Chagai, who will tell us about the project, walk us through, and then we're going to go and meet some of the young members of this Garin, who will be basically being the future generation of Nir Oz. So Chagai, please take it from here.
Okay, good morning here from Nir Oz, and thank you for each and every one of you. You can see a beautiful sunrise just behind me here in Nir Oz. I'm standing here in the construction site of the new neighborhood for the new group of Hashomer HaTzair coming here to Nir Oz. So I'm Chagai. I volunteer as the project manager and for the construction of the neighborhood here. Also, as Avi said, the mentor for the group and very strong ties and connections to the management of Kibbutz Nir Oz. And I volunteer here because I really couldn't sit at home, continue with my life, and knowing that Kibbutz Nir Oz future is not clear and a real danger or a bad option for this kibbutz not being rebuilt again. So, and that's the reason I'm here. So really, Kibbutz Nir Oz, as Avi said, was very badly damaged on 7th of October. From 6:30 in the morning, there was 3 waves of terrorists coming from Gaza. The first wave was really what we call Nukhba, like a very militarized terrorist that really did most of the killing in the first hour. But afterwards, there were two more waves of citizens from Gaza looters that really came, hundreds of them, into the kibbutz and continued the killing, damaging the kibbutz, stealing things, and burning many of the houses. And the special hard and sad story of Nir Oz is this is like a small community. Before the war, before 7th of October, this is 400 people were living in the kibbutz. They say 400 if you count the cats also. And one of each four of the people, members of the kibbutz, was badly hurt in 7th of October. Many of them killed, many of them kidnapped to Gaza. But you can really, to understand the scope, the scale of the damage here, it's important to understand that only 6 houses in Kibbutz Nir Oz were not being, terrorists didn't came into them. Okay, only 6 houses in all the kibbutz were not burned or highly damaged by the terrorist. And the people here, like the real trauma of 7th of October is the stories that many of you heard of people fighting on their lives, on the life of their kids, children, in the safe houses, fighting on the handle, and the other side, terrorists burning the houses, and really a lot of very traumatic stories from that day. The community of Nir Oz was evacuated first to an hotel in Eilat, where on really the first, second day there, they meet the volunteers of HaShomer HaTzair. Some of them are those of the group which is coming now to Nir Oz. Afterwards, the kibbutz was evacuated to the city of Kiryat Gat, and they live there. The community of Nir Oz live there until today in 130 flats in a new neighborhood in Kiryat Gat. This is like an hour drive from here. And really, why we are here, really to emphasize the reason we are here, is that most of the community of Kibbutz Nir Oz decided they cannot come back to Nir Oz itself. They cannot come back to live here. More than 50 families. These are the families with most of the kids. This is like the families of people my age, around 40, 50, those with big families, with kids, already decided that they cannot come back to Nir Oz, and they will move to another kibbutz near Bet Shemesh on the way to Jerusalem. It's called Bet Nir. And the people that, and the reason they can't come back is they can't go back to the place where they was so much traumatized. They can't think about coming back with their kids to live so close to the border. I didn't say Nir Oz is, of course, 800 meters from Gaza, and there's days that they still feel like war here. A lot of booms, of course, from our side, not from the Hamas side, but still sometimes feel like a place of war. You can see where if you look at where Ilan Gritsevsky is walking to show you around places that were highly damaged in the kibbutz. And so really the community cannot go back. The people that see themselves come back are the very elderly one, people like Gadi Moses, with whom we just drank yesterday half a bottle of brandy, and very young people, like just after the army. But all the middle population of the community cannot come back, and this is most of the people and all of the kids. And so the real big reason why we are here is that Kibbutz Nir Oz will have a future, that will not be left alone once again. It was left alone in 7th of October. Army didn't came here. This is maybe the only kibbutz which there hasn't been even one shot of the army. When the army came to Nir Oz on 7th of October afternoon, there were no more terrorists in the kibbutz. They did what they wanted to do freely, and they went back to Gaza. So Kibbutz Nir Oz was left alone on 7th of October. Since then, the kibbutz also felt it is totally alone from the government because of the hostages. There were so many hostages of Nir Oz. The last one, the body of the last hostage, just been brought back a month ago. And we felt that there's no way that Kibbutz Nir Oz will be left alone one more time. And we have to be here and bring a group of 50 young adults around the age of 28, 30, couples, just before bringing babies to Nir Oz. And we had a conversation with the management of Nir Oz that for a year after 7th of October, this conversation led to the mutual decision of Kibbutz Nir Oz and the group of these 50 young adults. They're all alumni of Hashomer HaTzair. That's the reason why there was so strong connection and easy connection. And we took the decision that those 50 young adults will come to Nir Oz, move their life from Tel Aviv, where they live, and change their course of life, and coming to Nir Oz. They're already here from last July and taking care, as you will hear from them, on the culture, on the education in the area and everything. And we take care for their houses. I'm going to show you around just for half a minute the new neighborhood. So this is the place. This is the new neighborhood we built. Each and every house of Nir Oz was very much damaged. All these houses, there were bullet holes, some of them a little bit burned. Safe houses not safe anymore. All the windows broken. And we decided with Kibbutz Nir Oz, we're gonna reconstruct this neighborhood. We have 15 big houses here, which are very much appropriate for the new group. And we do like a very big innovation here. We really build the houses from the beginning. You can see here around all the new houses around. I'm talking about electricity, plumbing, safe houses, roofs, all the woodwork, aluminum, everything we do from the beginning. And the reason we're here, we're going to talk about it a bit later, is we need your help to finish the work we're doing here, so they can come live in these new houses. They live now in a temporary housing, and we want them to go and live in these new houses a month from now. Okay?
Good.
Avi?
Yes. So now you want to basically introduce some of the people from
Yes.
the new Garin, and they basically we'll hear from them why they came, how they look, how they see the future for them, and the hopefully expanding family in Nir Oz, and hear their plans.
Gal?
Hi, good morning.
Can't hear you.
My name is Gal. I
Can't
was
hear
born
you.
and raised in
Can't
Yad
hear you,
Mordechai.
Gal.
Gal,
Yeah,
Gal, can you come closer to the phone?
yeah, okay. So my name is Gal. I was born and raised in Yad Mordechai, which is a kibbutz
We can't hear
like
you,
40
Gal.
minutes
We can't
from
hear
here.
you.
Gal is from Kibbutz Yad Mordechai. No one can hear Gal?
We can hear. Abby, increase the loudspeaker maybe on your side.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Gal.
Go ahead.
So I was born and raised in Yad Mordechai, and I grew up in Otef Aza, as we say in Israel, the kibbutzim that are closer to Gaza, or the Western Negev. And I grew up in HaShomer HaTzair, and I was raised by the same values that the people who the original pioneers of Nir Oz built the kibbutz upon the same values that I grew up on. And the whole group that I belong to, the alumni of HaShomer HaTzair, we grew up on the same values. So after the 7th of October, I went to volunteer to work with the evacuees of the community from Nir Oz and from other kibbutzim in the area. And that was where the bond really strengthened, because Nir Oz is a kibbutz by HaShomer HaTzair, but the faces got familiar to us, and we got to know them, and they got to know us. And then last year, we knew we wanted to move to the south somewhere and to help with the rehabilitation of Otef Aza in a stronger way than just working with the small communities. And we debated whether we should go to a city or to a different kibbutz, and we didn't know where we're going to go. And then in last February was the deal that Gadi Moses was released. And I don't know if you remember that, but we sat together as a group and we watched the news, and he got out, and then he went and he hugged his son and everything, and it was very, very emotional. And then one of the first things he said was, don't worry, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do everything in my power to rebuild Nir Oz. And we were so taken aback with admiration from that man, and we knew that instant there's no way for us not to go there and be with that amazing man rebuilding his life project in Nir Oz. So that was like the last decision we had after he was released. And then we got to know him, and then we got to know Liat Atzili, who's also a member of Nir Oz, and she lives here, and they invited us to come here and be a part of the rehabilitation. I don't know if it's a project, it's like a lifelong work, because we're not here for just this 1 year. We're rebuilding houses because we want to be here for the foreseeable future. And it was very important to us to come here in the summer break in Israel, in July and August, because we're a group of educators. That's what we do, that's our work, and we all do the same degree in Bet Berel in education. So it was very important to us to come here in August so we can start the school year in September. The 1st of September is the school year in Israel. So actually today is the day we're going to teach. We're all teachers in our internship part of the degree. So we're going to teach in the regional high schools in the area. So in Ofe Absor, which is the regional high school in Eshkol, and in Shikma, which is the regional high school in Chof Ashkelon. So that's the day that we're going to teach the high schoolers, and we see them and they need our help. There's no other way to put it. Their schools are not damaged in the property-wise, but it's the first normal year that they have, because a lot of the children came back to their homes last year. So everything is still, it's figured out as they're going, and it's not really sure what will be in the future, because they don't have enough teachers, and the children are, sometimes their minds go somewhere else, and they're very sad, and they talk about being sad. And I think it's just, that's the truest way of us knowing that they need us here, as us being a group of educators. And we're here together, and I think the fact that we all grew up here at the same values as the original pioneers of Nir Oz, that's what really makes this happen, because it's not just like a random group of people. It's us, we're the same people.
Thank you, Gal.
Hi everyone, my name is Ron. I'm the coordinator of the group inside of the kibbutz. My main work, it's not a salary work, it's like a community work. It's to give life to this place. When we came here, there were like, I think 10 people living in the kibbutz. Can you imagine even such a thing. Everything was empty and silence. And when we came, our main work was to give life and to be a community that do dinners together and holidays. One of the main things we did was the first Kabbalat Shabbat. I don't know to say it in English. It's a Shabbat ceremony. I think you all know it. And we didn't think people will come, but then we found ourselves with hundreds of people coming to here. It was very moving. And after, there was Rosh Hashanah, which we, all the group, made efforts to give the ceremony, and also hundreds of people came, and it was very moving. This is really our mainly thing we do here, is to give life in the afternoon for people to live like normal life. And this is really the main thing we do. Behind me is my temporary house. As you can see, the Israeli between of you know this sign of clearing the houses for the army. And also my fridge is outside because there's no place inside. So it's very, very small. So this is like where I'm standing right now. And thank you very much for joining us and to know our story. And I'll give it back to Ilan to tell his personal story of why he came here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ilan. My job is organizing the social service here of the Shomer HaTzair, but in the last 2 years, most of the time I was in Army Reserve Service. All of it was in Gaza. I did about 340 days in the last 2 years as a commander in the Army. Actually, the first time we got into Gaza, it was right here next to Nir Oz. I remember the sign pointing to the kibbutz, and it was still before all of the decision process and the actual firm idea of our group moving here. But I remember thinking to myself that, okay, this is what me and my company are doing. We're here to protect the citizens of Otef Aza, and in specifically Nir Oz, which we were stationed right nearby. So I wasn't in all of the big conversation of the group. And actually, the first time our group did a tour in Nir Oz, I was 1 kilometer away inside of Gaza. We tried to manipulate a way that they will pick me up from the border and take me to the tour and bring me back, but we didn't manage. So for me, all of the question and the process of deciding to move here was really through the filter of security, safety, and the importance of young people, able people occupying the borders and protecting the citizens that live here. And ever since we've moved, me and 12 other members of the group are part of the rapid response squad of the kibbutz, which means that we are the first response if anything happens in the kibbutz or the area. Sadly, before the 7th of October and also today, the rapid response squads are heavily underfunded, and we're lacking equipment and qualifications and stuff, but we're still here and we're still doing it, and we're not waiting for equipment to come, and we're here to protect ourselves and the other citizens that came to Nir Oz with us. And I move it back to Gal, I think.
Avi, you can take us from here.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Those young individuals really are inspiring and unbelievable generation, and we are very lucky that we see such an incredible young generation. I would like to get Eyal Ben David to the conversation. Eyal, who is a perpetual volunteer what will be our eyes on the ground, basically making sure that every dollar will be spent appropriately. Eyal, you are muted, by the way. Eyal, tell us and share with us the story. So after so many months of volunteering in the Otef Aza, in the providing facilities to soldiers and so on, what made you to take another project of yourself after 2 years almost of volunteering nonstop? What was the breaking point that you had to convince your wife to give you a few more weeks and do that kind of work?
Thank you, Avi. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure being with you this morning, this evening. The most important message is that we must bring young people to the region. There is no other way to have good life and kids and babies smiling, walking around and having life in the region. This is why I'm here since 2 years ago, and I will still doing a lot of work in between, in parallel with the Eshkol, with the Kibbutzim. I'm ex-pilot in the Israeli Air Force, flying till the age of 60. I'm not so young as these wonderful young people, but we are still young in order to make what is needed for the future. The idea is to give hope and life to the region. And thank you very much for joining us and helping. That's it.
Thank you, Eyal. Eyal is an incredible person. We met him in Nir Oz. He was the guy who recruited us for the work. And before we were accepted, we had to pass a test because when we told him that we are 70 plus years old, he wanted to make sure that we're not coming with a helper on a helper or Filipinos to help us do the work. So after one day of painting, he approved us and we worked there for 4 weeks. Thank you very much, Eyal. Pleasure meeting you. Anyway, so with that, I would like to open it up for Q&A. You can ask any questions about the project, why do we need the money, why the government is not giving the money, and so on and so forth. And then we can talk. Adi will be able to talk if you have any questions about how to make a donation and so on. She will be able to answer that. Obviously, just as a high level, this is a 401c corporation. Everything is all donation are tax deductible. And right now we are about at about $50,000. And we're still short of our objective to help Nir Oz young Garin to finish the project and move in. Please ask any questions on any subject. And I'd like please open the microphones and ask your questions. Anyone who wants to ask questions, please.
I'll start. Hi everyone, this is Ophir. Thanks so much for being with us so early in the morning. I want to kind of like maybe that's something that Chagai or can speak about is like how much money did you already raise and what are you using the money for? Is it for the buildings, for the people, and what type of share of portion did you get from the government?
Okay, great.
Okay.
Phil, thank you for the question. So the first thing is we don't take for this project any money from the government, and I'll explain why. The reason is that the original community of Nir Oz is in such a great needs. It's really, they need a lot of money for their rehabilitation, even if it's not in Nir Oz. And we thought it will be it will not take us to a good place if we make a situation that young people like Gal and Ron and Ilan will like fight on the same shekel, on the same money with the original people of Nir Oz. So we took a very important decision together with the management of Kibbutz Nir Oz, is that all the money from the government will go to the original community, and that fundraising will be put in the new project of the new Garin. And this is so important because otherwise there will be a lot of hard feelings between the old and the new community. And I'm sure you can understand the original community needs a lot more from the government that they get. And we really want to let the new Garin, the new group, come in on a very clean start with no hard feelings and no tensions, no unneeded tensions. So this is the first answer for your question. The second, we need money for two things. First is for rebuilding the houses, just like the house I stand in. The budget of this project is $2.5 million. $2.5 million. We already raised $2.3 million. Like right now, we lack $200,000. Okay, I'll say it again. So the project is $2.5 million, and we lack $200,000. And this money is for finishing the rehabilitation of the houses in the next months and a half. So all these guys like Gal, Ilan, and Ron can move from their temporary housing, which is not fitting them, to the new, very nice, beautiful houses, which will be really homey and will give them a homey and secure place to live here in Nir Oz. There's, of course, more needs, like for their cars, like they moved from Tel Aviv to Nir Oz. There's just lately the bus came back to drive to come to Nir Oz, and all different needs. But right now we are very much focused with finishing the construction action and letting them move as soon as possible to the new houses.
Maybe I could say one thing about that too. So we need, in a general picture, we need to understand that the choice of moving to Nir Oz, it's a choice of life, because the Nir Oz was so severely damaged. They need to choose if people had to choose if to move back or to start new lives. And since a lot of people chose not to start their lives back again in Nir Oz, so the group came in. Now, the group is doing, I think, from morning to night, all their activity. They call themselves a mission community. They came to do what nobody else wanted to do, because it's hard. I think, Ron, when you moved, it was in the middle of the war, right? Or a little bit before the end. So the life is very hard there. And we wanted to give them the houses, so all the work will be focused on what they're daily doing. Like Al said, they're gonna go and teach in the high schools. The high schools are all populated by youth, all the youth that originally lived in Nir Oz and experienced, not just in Nir Oz, in the entire region, and experienced October 7th. And of course, they're still experience it throughout their lives. So we want them just to wake up in the morning and do their things. And we're focusing on that. Along that, we have a full 3 year that where we mentor them and we give the group psychological help and a lot of seminars how to deal with traumatized population and how to support them, because eventually some of the families of Nir Oz, when they'll see there is life in the kibbutz, will probably want to come back home, and we want the group to be able to maintain a full community life with holidays like all the kibbutz members are used to, because a kibbutz is a community. Kibbutz, the community life in a kibbutz is the main thing. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay. Any other questions?
There is a question in the chat. If there are no children, who are you teaching? I guess you're teaching in the regional schools, I guess, but I will let you guys answer.
So there's no children in Nir Oz currently. and the young families, the families with children from ages 0 to 18, they're not really coming back. There's like 2 teenagers in Iroz currently. So the regional high school that we're teaching at is all of the yeshuvim, the kibbutzim.
It's a
and the
regional
moshavim.
high school.
Yeah, it's a regional
Yeah.
high school. So there's like 800 high schoolers there, middle school and high school.
A lot of the regional kibbutzim, for example, Nirim, where Avi has volunteered, had come back. The community did come back. Nir Oz, since he was so severe damaged, most of the people chose not to come back. But other kibbutzim did, and there is a lot of kids in the school. And I think there was a question from Jeff.
Yeah, hi. So first of all, amazing work you guys are doing, really inspiring. I will say, just looking around the Zoom, I think I'm bringing down the age group a little bit. So I'll represent the young Jews of Silicon Valley here. I have two questions. One is, what marketing material do you all have? Because I think your story is really important, right? I think when we hear a lot about the kibbutzim and we hear a lot about what's going on in Israel, it's very much broad statements, and it's not, like hearing the story where, for me, obviously we're connected to Israel and we have family there and everything. I don't think many people heard that a lot of the people don't want to come back. I think it's maybe implied, but they don't think, wow, a lot of people really don't want to come back. So what's going to happen to that community? So I would say for my generation, that, if there's videos or stories or more materials that you can share on social media, I think you're going to get a lot more exposure, because I'm very interested. I have a very big community of professionals in Silicon Valley who are Israeli and Jewish who would also want to hear the story. So that's question one. And then question two, have you worked with other organizations that help bring young people to kibbutzim? So for instance, I, in 2007, joined the army as a lone soldier through Garin, and Garin placed us in kibbutzim all over the country. And I lived in a kibbutz in Mos Chaim for 3 years, and it was some of the best years of my life. And a lot of people from Garin stayed, and they built homes and communities there and had children and the whole thing. So have you worked with those organizations? So sorry, no, long questions, but I can repeat them if there's.
Jeff, thank you for the. Thank you, Jeff. And I can say, first of all, we can send you through Avi a lot of materials, both films that were like in the television in Israel about the group and about Nir Oz and repopulating Nir Oz, and both like films and short films and documents.
Sorry, Chagai. I do have sent you a video. I think there was a problem with VPN to broadcast it abroad, but I'll send you some links. But you are right that our PR is not great, because most of our money is allocated to the doing, and this is this is on us, on the management, but definitely we need to figure out where the money will go. And PR and marketing, it takes money. So we just started it to really focus on it, because we understand the importance. But definitely first we wanted to give them houses. And I see there's another question in the chat.
Adi, just a second.
Oh,
you have Jeff. Give Jeff the material. He will distribute that among his colleagues and friends. So we're gonna do the legwork. You guys just gonna provide us the material.
I could share in the chat now a link, and
later on. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be now.
Yeah. Okay. I'll share with you some material, and I hope some of them you probably could see and some not. In the link in the document that Avi sent, there is a link to a donation, but it's also of a video of that group in English in channel I-24. About the Garin,
Yeah, the next question of Jeff, I'll just say, right now it's the group is 50 young adults came to Nir Oz. Their mission is to bring another 50 in the next year. So if you come to Israel, and you're all very much welcomed, come to Nir Oz, like feel it's like a little bit your house too here, your home too. If you come next year, we believe you will see not just 50, you will see 100 young adults, because they will work very hard to make Nir Oz a place that young people will feel they want to be in. And already now, if you come on Tuesdays, there's a pub, and people outside of Nir Oz will come because it's really such a great fun and full of hope to be here and see that this place have a future for young people to come. So the answer to your question is yes, we work with other organizations, and we're going to bring another 50 young adults here in the next year.
I see a question in the chat, so I don't know if it, but our money, most of the money we are raising from funds like Greenspoon and Glazer, I don't know if you know them, UGA, and from organization in Israel, okay, some foundation in Israel, for example, Habaita, which was really focusing on helping the border communities that got hurt in the south and in the north too. So, Joel, I hope I answered your question.
Okay, more questions? If there are no more questions, I believe that everyone in this group, Adi, Hagai, Eyal, everyone will be more than happy to follow up if you have any questions. I want to thank every person who participated today, and I believe that for those who have not visited Otef Aza, and my wife and I was it mostly the first time, we really love the place. It's a beautiful place. You see how the people take care of this place, and what a incredible work they do there to build a nice and warm community. And I really hope that you will be able to open your hearts and help with helping the Nir Oz. And the donation will take, I will follow up with you and more people. And obviously, if you know of friends or relatives, whoever that will resonate with the story of Nir Oz and will like to see this kibbutz, this area, Israel, continuing to be a strong place for Israelis and obviously for Jews all over, your help will be greatly appreciated. Did I hear another question?
No, but
No, I would just wanted to thank you. Oh, go ahead, Ashel, sorry.
But Avi, just a second. Maybe you should repeat, even if it was communicated before, how do people donate if they want? And also the recording, are we going to make it available for everyone so they can maybe share with friends and kind of use the next few weeks maybe to get more people interested to look at maybe participating? I think we should. Can you talk about this? Are we going to share this recording?
Yes. So first of all, thank you, Eshel, and my apologies. I forgot to mention that Eshel and Ophir are also a member of the Silicon Valley team and help that bring that together. So thank you, Eshel. Appreciate that. As far as the donation, there is a document that I attached to the emails, and I will be happy to provide again everyone, which basically lists the different options that are available to people to donate, whether from credit card or DAF or other mechanism, which all accepted. And by the way, we just work a problem that we used to have of people who work in high tech and the company is doing matching. So there was a problem with that mechanism, but it is on the path to be resolved. And again, anytime you have questions, please call me. I will send an email with the link to the recording. And again, your help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for joining the presentation today. Thank you very much for the people for of Nir Oz. Yes, we do help you, but you definitely are the people who are helping keep Israel strong and with hopefully promising future, which is definitely of great interest for everyone who participate in that discussion here. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
I put some links in the chat if anybody is interested to look at the video.
By the way, Adi, can you put also the latest document for the donation, also the link there?
Yeah, sure. So I thought, did you send it already?
I sent it to some, but we can send it again. If you don't have it handy right now, I can send it later.
I have it. Just something happened with the chat that
No problem. Don't worry. I'll send it over.
There it is. Okay. So we'll send you everything.
Okay. Thanks again, everyone, and hopefully we'll hear from you soon. Have a good day, and thanks again.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. נתראה בישראל. ביי ביי.
Bye.